Hello and welcome to this special live coverage of the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo, coming to you from CGTN in Beijing. I'm Zhao Chen. And as we enter the second last day of this event, the venue is buzzing with a mix of industry professionals and curious members of the public. And today, I'm very pleased to be inviting 3 other of my wonderful colleagues who's been speaking to CEOs, very powerful CEOs, and discovering the stories behind the booths. So why don't you first say hi to our global audience?
I'm Jensen Huang, the host from CGTN's business program, Global Business. I was here reporting for the event Supply Chain Expo. I was also responsible for one of the forums in green agriculture. And this is my, I think, 3rd time.
Also the 3rd time.
Yeah,
so
also
you've
third
been
time
growing with the
event.
Expo together. Yeah. Wonderful. Welcome. And Yawen?
Hello everyone, I'm Yawen. I'm a reporter with CGTN Radio. Actually, this is my first time covering the CISCE, so a lot of surprise, a lot of new discoveries. So pretty much this time I covered the Smart Vehicle Expo and exhibition and also the digital technology, so cannot wait to share more about it.
Wonderful. I would love to hear more from you. And yeah, I'm Chen. It's my 2nd time. Sorry, before you. Now passing you to you.
I'm Xin Chen, and also this is my 3rd time being at the Expo, the China International Supply Chain Expo. We're seeing more people coming to showcase here at the Expo, and it's becoming more technological driven instead of, it's not just about logistics, it's not just about moving things around, but it's also about the discovery, the technological breakthroughs of China's supply chains, and we're going to definitely talk more about that, right?
Certainly, yes. So supply chain, which may sound a little bit distant to ourselves, but in fact is the very critical pillar behind everything that keeps everything running. And first, I would like to start with this definition that I learned from Jensen Huang, who also created a Jensen Huang moment for this expo. And he said, the definition of supply chain is connection. So today, I think it's really wonderful for us to sit down and reflect upon what exactly are we connecting and how is China positioning itself during this shifting landscape of global supply chain. So let's start with the Jensen Huang moment.
The Jensen Huang moment.
And we have a guy who had met him at a very preliminary time. How about you, Xin-Chen, you start by sharing with us.
I mean, you also met him as well, right?
At a later time, but only for a short period of time.
Basically, Jensen Huang is on a visit to China. Definitely, he is.
It's his 3rd time in China this year, but it's the first time for the Expo.
Yeah, for Nvidia to be at the Expo is the first time for the company, and also Jensen Huang's first time to be here at the presence of this Expo. And he met with the chairman of the CCPIT, the organizer of the Supply Chain Expo, and the media. I mean, we went pretty crazy after him, right?
I can imagine.
People have been following him, visiting Xiaomi and visiting all those different places here in Beijing, and of course, Jensen Huang was surrounded by all those reporters here on site of this venue.
He's generally quite friendly to media.
I mean, he's very inspirational, I think, because last year Tim Cook also came to this expo, and that's something that I want to talk about.
You also met Tim Cook.
Yes, I also met Tim Cook as well last year. So even though we're talking about supply chain expo here, and Chen just mentioned, supply chain can be a little bit distant to people's daily life, but it's more than just deliveries, more than just about logistics. And today is about technology. It's about how technology is giving new lives to supply chain, improving that efficiency, and also meet the changing demands of consumers, of us, right? And Jensen had delivered the opening remarks in Chinese.
Right, at the Expo.
Yeah, at the Expo, and then kind of participating in this fire chat with Dr. Wang Jian.
Wang Jian
a
from
pioneer,
Alibaba Cloud.
The pioneer in cloud computing here in China. They were friends many decades ago, and they remain friends. I also hosted that seminar.
You were on the same stage with both of these 2 powerful guys.
I guess the room must be very full, right?
Yeah.
Wow, it was so crowded, and when Jensen showed up and everyone was cheering and applauding, and then they were just
crowding towards him.
People
I was there.
We're sitting and also standing behind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the things like what I found about Jensen Huang, definitely Jensen Huang is a successful businessman. We have to admit that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And why he came here, because he sees the need for the China market, the huge demand. And we're talking about half of the global chip demands come from China.
Yeah.
And I think the White House also realized that. And actually, on the same day, Jensen Huang announced the H20, a specially designed chip for China, is going to come. It's not going. Actually, it's applying for the license actually to come back to China. Scott Bessent, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, actually had said that in an interview that the reason behind this, Trump is allowing Jensen Huang to bring H20 back to China, is that because they are scared that if Chinese chips are catching up very fast, and the possibility of a digital Belt and Road in the future. Because if
It's not the Nvidia is scared, but the U.S.
I mean, I think Nvidia has been scared since less than November or December.
That China would come up with their own version.
I mean, we already have like Huawei Ascend and all those chips, and actually they have this computation power that equivalent to H20, if not more. Because H100, that's the flagship chip from Nvidia. That's probably 2 or 3 generations ahead of Chinese chips. And we're talking about the size, because China right now producing like 7 nanometers of chips, but Nvidia produce like 2 to 3 nanometers.
Amazing.
And the smaller the chips are, the less power it consumes, and also it means because we're talking about GPU right now, it's not CPU. GPU can compute just one token at a time. So when we think about making a machine, we need a lot of those
capacity.
And when it's smaller, it has more computation power, and then it consumes less energy. But we're still like 2 or 3 generations. I mean, China is still 2 or 3 generations behind the U.S. chips. But again, we have the large market, and that's something that I found quite interesting from Jensen Huang. Is that actually in today's world, for a lot of consumer AI products, we don't need that H100 chips. We only need H20 or even lesser chips to make less advanced, because for research, development research, we probably need more advanced computing powers.
Quite enough,
but it's already
consumer electronics.
I think the way that he's being a rock star in China among business, Jensen Huang being a rock star in China shows China's respect for technology.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Whether you're Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Jensen Huang, all respected and hailed as rock stars in China, in Supply Chain Expo, in China Development Forum, in Jiaotai State Guest House. People respect not the individual, but the input and investment and dedication, whoever they are, into technology, pioneering, not just for Chinese or American companies, but for human race, for the entire human society.
I think that's a more important message we can all learn from these businessmen.
And it's also win-win cooperation. Like Jensen Huang, once his H20 AI chips can be, again, back to China, his company can also make a fortune, right?
Hundreds of billions of dollars for the company and for himself.
And think about like 4 trillion market cap for Nvidia, and trying to keep up that
Look at
lead.
their share price. Also, Chinese company, especially those big data company, computing company, their shares went up hugely too, because they were boosted in confidence.
But I think what I want to see more, I mean, from a journalistic or a more critical standpoint, because Jensen Huang also went to Saudi Arabia with Trump about a half year ago. It was only promoting the chips, but what about like collaborating with local supply chains? Because he's here with supply chains. He's not just using his products. If we have a factory, do some cohort in terms of research and development, because Jensen Huang had mentioned about a lot about AI. The future of AI needs collaboration and cooperation.
Yes.
Half of the exhibitors here would need chips, right?
Absolutely. But not just from its consumption standpoint, but also maybe join hands. China is also the largest semiconductor manufacturing base and also consumption market.
I talked to TCL's vice president. They are doing AI. They are doing advanced manufacturing. They want chips.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talked to CP China, which is an agricultural company. They want chips to control all the supply chain and everything. I think in electric vehicles, in advanced, everyone wants chips.
Absolutely.
Good ones, those moderate ones,
Yeah.
9 nano, 10 nano, 20 nano, they just want chips.
And the industry of semiconductor is a complex massive network, and it really requires global
Connecting.
cooperation
Yeah.
and connecting.
Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, TCL's booth is right next to Nvidia's down in the hall, and they're next to each other. And we're also, I also saw like 2 other chip giants from the U.S.
Qualcomm and
Qualcomm and Micron, and they've been
Huge
here.
business in China.
Absolutely.
Huge business.
Yeah.
They made billions.
And by the way, and even for CGTN studio here on site, we have a studio on site. We also have like AI-powered virtual studio, and even for journalism.
Every day I talk to a virtual mascot,
Linky,
looking to the hi Linky, it's not there, but I could
all
only see in the
powered by-
screen. Yes, it's very, very, very unique.
Yeah.
And also, during the session that I moderated, it's like there is a scholar, I cannot remember where he's from, but he mentioned artificial intelligence, why it's so critical, is making possible that to bring advanced technology, advanced science closer to daily lives.
Yes.
You know, I think about C919, and maybe like 10 or 20 years, we never thought that China can make a plane.
passenger
but
jet plane.
Look at that. Speaking of the high-speed trains, CR450, we have and it's going to be commercialized very soon. A speed like over 400 kilometers per hour. Think about that's all advanced manufacturing and advanced science. And artificial intelligence is
behind all
helping
these,
that.
Yes, it's all
becoming
fundamental science, and I think it's. I was also there at the fireside chat between Dr. Wang Jian and Jensen Huang, and they constantly brought up about this how AI can advance people's studies of sciences, and also they also emphasized a lot about the power of talents. And Jensen also said, praise the Lord that China has the most.
Over 50% of
Yes, of the global AI talents. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and also that the research and development focus, and think about these fast-moving fields, even just a little spark, a little breakthrough can actually lead to hundreds of thousands of steps ahead. Even Jensen Huang personally said that China and the U.S. are not, kind of competing head-in-head in the AI race.
And he said competition is good.
Yeah, competition is good. Yeah.
And help his company stay competitive, and also maybe kind of like enhance their cooperation with Chinese companies, right? I noticed that they have also signed some agreements with Chinese partners, like this time, the Nvidia.
I think absolutely. I mean, of course, they are returning to the China market, and also a new launch of a new GPU. But I've been kind of trying to learn the H20 thing, so I never really paid much attention about the new GPU. But still, there's a lot of markets, a lot of potential here in China. But again, and
Li Jun may be interested in buying some of the chips to put into his cars,
At least Chinese
his
tech
phones.
companies.
Absolutely.
He also visited Xiaomi's factory, did he?
Outside, south of Beijing, right?
Yeah.
He said he wants to purchase one Xiaomi vehicle, but he cannot in America.
Oh,
Okay.
You see, that's different attitudes from
Right.
Chinese companies to U.S. companies and U.S. market to Chinese companies. Huawei's products are banned in the U.S., but here in China, we can use all kinds of U.S. products, no problem.
And we welcome all those. China is very willing to continue to open up the market and welcoming all those companies come back. And speaking of the AI race, and actually, just look at how much money the two countries are putting into AI development is crazy, and billions, tens of billions, actually $500 billion are used to develop technology. And I think even a lot of people refer the U.S. and China are having this AI race, but maybe at the end of the day, it's not about winning. It's about to find ways to coexist and work together, right?
And benefit people, not just in two countries, but globally. I can find an example of how AI is being used in agriculture is that big machinery, farming machineries, they are very expensive. They're big, right? You can find huge machinery vehicles.
Yes.
So they can pick up crops, they can harvest,
Tractors,
they can grow, doing all sorts of work in water and soil. So there are new services like the mechanical clouds. Can you imagine? They build a cloud So they can
Cloud
be connected
service.
to hundreds of thousands of all these machines
vehicles.
around the country. So if somewhere needs like 10 machines to harvest in a very small time window, like in 10 days, we have to finish harvesting because time is changing, climate is changing, extreme weather conditions. So they can call up the temporary drivers of these harvest or mechanic machines that they can go and travel to that place and finish the work in 10 days. So cloud services is being used in agriculture, in harvesting. So extreme weather conditions will have less impact on harvesting, damaging almost fully grown fruits or vegetables. How great is that?
Fantastic.
I mean, this is in the supply chain.
Yeah, but the thing is like, as Jim has mentioned about this, as cloud computing and big data, or the Internet of Things continue to be more prevalent or more closer to people's daily life, Skynet. That's something that I'm thinking about from
Skynet.
Terminator.
Now we need to
Robotics.
prepare
You run a marathon with robots.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you were
we
there
both-
as well,
we
right?
both-
We
Yeah,
both did it.
ran.
Yeah.
Both
We've been
ran.
running all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, I found there are a lot of robots are on the displays.
Yes.
Here
Yeah.
at the Supply Chain Expo.
Yeah,
And
actually-
Yawen covered a lot.
Yeah,
about-
we did actually a live streaming of that exhibition. It's called Digital Technology, where Nvidia was there, TCL was there, and also like I visited this very special ones from Hubei province. It's the pavilion. Like they gathered like maybe nearly 100 companies from Hubei province. Before that, when we talk about humanoid robots, we could think of like the first thing come up into mind is, okay, unitary humanoid robot, right? But actually, Hubei, they're leading this industry nowadays. They actually come up with this strategy, say,
Everyone claims to be leading.
I'm gonna help saying that.
yeah, like they come up with this initiative like 1 year you have to achieve some original initial progress. In 3 years you have to see some noticeable results, and in 5 years you have to maybe catching up and like see some market shares in this
My
industry.
God,
And they
such
have-
pressure.
I know
It's a lot of goals.
Yeah,
But I think tangible goals.
that's the goals maybe from the government, but companies, they're very eager to actually do something in this industry.
Yeah.
Like I saw this 3 different kind of robots. 2 of them are humanoids. They can the first of them is like 1.7 meters tall. It can perform Tai Chi. Like there are 3 different colors, red, yellow, and black. And you can interact with people and dancing along the background music.
Right.
And they said the marketing director told me that's for entertainment purpose.
Yes.
And the second one is very interesting. Have you guys ever played that like the chess?
With a robot?
With a robot?
Yes.
Impossible to win. They're too smart.
And they actually win.
You did win?
Wow.
Because it's super simple. I think because they're still in the first stage of interacting, learning
Okay.
how to interact with people.
For
And,
children to educate.
probably for senior people as well.
Okay. Senior people, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can. I kind of play with it. It was really fun, and they can actually give you some emotional support.
Oh, okay.
And the set is designed not only for instance, kids for education, but also for senior people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
To
It's
have
a
that's
huge
fun,
market
yeah.
as well.
yeah. And the last one is it's not a humanoid robot, but it's this flying robot dog. Where
Flying robot dog.
Flying
Yes.
robot dog.
It's like on the surface you have this like helicopter kind of flying wing, and underneath is the robot dog, and
Okay.
And then at the bottom part is the box where the robot
So
dog.
it got 4 wheels and rental wheels. And
No, it's the robot dog, and then the
okay,
box
not
is
wheels.
just a box because
Okay.
you can put
For
like
deliveries, courier
Yes.
services, okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
for disaster relief operation.
Okay,
Thank you.
I thought it's like with the wings, but then I think it's like
So it's a
JD has like those kind of flying.
Yeah, it's a
drones.
combination of
A
delivery,
drone
Yes.
and
of
a
searching,
quadruped.
Yeah.
of rescue.
Like for forest fires
Yeah,
or for
okay.
So it's
earthquake
basically-
relief.
So the drone can
electric.
drop the dog and dog can find you
Exactly.
with some,
Interesting.
take you some medical aid and food.
So it's just very impressive. That's just a few cases. They told me they have over 80 companies nowadays in Hubei province who are doing this kind of massive production of humanoid robots.
Yeah, so I think the cluster effect.
Just one thing that I
Yeah.
want to going to jump in for a little bit.
Go ahead.
Do you guys still remember like about 5-6 years ago when these robot from the US, I cannot remember the name, can do
Boston.
a flip? Yeah, Boston.
Boston
Dynamics.
Yeah.
Boston
When
Dynamics.
it do the flip, and
Yes.
it went viral.
Yeah.
But just look today how robots can actually
Transform.
How rapidly
do real
the
do real
industry
things.
is
Yes,
evolving.
back then Boston Dynamics adopted this liquid pressured, another way of powering system, but now they've all switched to electric power.
Electric
And
power.
China certainly is leading
Been
in
leading this.
electric. Electricity is adopting from the EV industry.
We were running in that marathon, and
Right.
that robot, Kangol, I think is using that technology you just mentioned. So the joints is not supported by liquid, but just those electric engines.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very
Yes.
capable. So talking about the application of humanoids, I think maybe next year, maybe a few years later, they will have a independent theme on humanoids. Yeah,
That's
maybe it's
absolutely
not
possible.
significant enough.
Yeah.
We have 6 themes now: advanced manufacturing, mechanical, healthy life,
Healthy lives.
Digital technology,
digital technology,
supply chain
agriculture,
services,
supply chain services, and green
smart
agriculture.
vehicle.
Yes,
Yeah.
EV. So we have 6 areas. There will be definitely more areas. Robotics could be one of
That's
them.
a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, 6 main chains, that's what they call it, main chains that are showing there. But there's a dedicated zone for innovation.
noticed that.
There
Tell us
is
more.
actually near
yeah.
digital technology there. So
Okay.
basically, there are a lot of patents and discoveries from Chinese research centers or whatnot.
Okay.
And then that's the area where the organizers trying to kind of showcase how the technology is being brought to people's life and also
To the
helping
real industries.
supply chain upgrades. Yes.
Awesome.
You know, after that, I have also visited this smart vehicle, like we just previously talked about, but over there, like Xiaopeng, the
Yeah,
Xiaopeng,
Expo.
yeah, Expo, they were also trying so hard of they need AI chips definitely, and also they have this super cool flying car on site.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah.
right,
You probably
right.
saw that.
So low altitude economy could also be an independent pavilion,
In the
Evita.
future, yes.
Evita,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. This year we're seeing a lot more exhibition of eVTOLs and in different exhibition halls, in fact.
Small ones can carry products or do surveillance. The big ones can, carry people on cargo.
Yeah, carry people around.
Be a serious
And
transportation
that is in
vehicle.
the market is gonna commercialize by 2026. So, which means next year we could fly to work.
Low altitude. So
low altitude.
we,
Yeah, low
we do not
altitude
need to
economy.
drive here.
Yeah.
We can just fly here.
Oh yeah, let's hope for that.
But again, I think sometimes for these kind of more interesting, more advanced technology to really be in people's real life, it needs a cohort. It's not just from China, but a collaboration where there needs to be legislations or regulations, international laws on even today. Autonomous driving is still not kind of fully out there. And I've been doing a lot of low altitude economy stories because I was in Chengdu, and Chengdu is really trying to
Another
boost that
hub for
low altitude
economy.
economy.
Yeah.
But speaking of applying for the license and learning that license can also be costly.
Regulation,
Regulations.
digitalization.
Safety check
yes.
always comes first, right?
Standards are really difficult.
Yeah.
They're difficult.
But China actually is again leading for certificating these certificates. So Yihang is it Yihang, right? Yeah, Yihang has already got 3 of the certificates, the type certificates, production certificates, and
I mean, I think
but
the
they have
products
one.
are ready. But then it's just about, like, for example, if I want to fly from Chengdu to Chongqing, that's 2 different cities, and under 2 different administrations, that flying route, and it's getting easier.
Right, right.
Because I can still remember,
regulation in the air as well.
about 10 years ago, I was doing this similar story about Shanghai. Shanghai is kind of leading the low altitude economy many years back. It will take 2 days to apply for that flying license, to clear that route.
That's why we need the unified national market.
Yeah. But now in Chengdu, you can apply for it like 3 to 4 hours ahead. And look at that. Yeah. So think about it, you can buy a plane and you can fly yourself to places. Yeah.
But a lot of times, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed that there are certain areas you're not allowed to bring drones with you. If
Right.
there's so many spots.
It's regulation, yes.
Yeah,
on
that's
the side.
sometimes that
How
might
can you
just-
make that flying
For
car
security.
happen?
That's a security.
different
yeah.
altitude.
Yeah.
Because for drones, that's actually lower than the low altitude economy. I think that's more about the property owners. Sometimes it's not really.
They
Privacy
may have
concern.
dedicated routes. Then you can only fly on those
To
routes.
certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from your home, on the rooftop of your home.
Yeah.
You can apply for a dedicated route to fly to the top of the CCTV building.
Yeah, we
Yes,
have
that's-
we have
that's-
one right there.
There's a
Yeah.
spot for you to
Yeah.
park.
Yes.
So the route is dedicated at like 350 meters high.
Yeah.
And it's automated. You don't need to drive it.
Okay, I see.
If you apply for it, it's like invisible but tangible route.
Yeah.
You can only fly on this
certain
pipeline.
route.
Yeah.
You can only go there, but you can't really change. You can't move outside of this
Yeah.
invisible pipeline. You would just
That's
automatically go there.
practical.
Yes. Yeah. Remember, on the road, it's about 2 dimension, but when you're in air, it's 3
Multiple
dimension.
dimension.
Yes, multiple
Like
dimensions.
multiple layers,
Yes,
so.
and in theory, it should be easier for eVTOLs or for any flying aircraft to have automated.
Then they need, for automation, then you need more algorithm.
Yes.
So if you are
more
flying, you
chips.
can fly on above me or under me, so we have no possibility of collision. So then we need a lot of chips.
It just reminded me of another movie, The Fifth Element.
All
What
kind.
is it?
Yeah, Fifth Element.
Fifth Element is
Okay.
like, because I think that's early.
And how is it
It was
resonant
back
with
in the 1990s, like flying taxis, and there will be tubes that the people can drive. Just they're not driving on the road, but flying all across. And even Star Wars.
Yeah.
So all the
Just
future
enough.
sci-fi has been
Are
becoming
becoming
reality
reality,
gradually.
yes. And coming
happening.
back to robots, we already
more
hope that
very cool.
before they become a company
Yeah,
and daily
reality.
care in our daily lives. Right now, I think like you will only mentioned one cluster in China, Hubei province, but there are in fact, in Zhifeng also mentioned multiple of clusters across China. In
That's
fact,
why
I
they're
think-
competing. Yeah,
Yes,
they're competing.
and
yeah.
also again, competition makes
Hangzhou
better technology.
competing,
Yeah,
Hangzhou.
Unitree is based in Hangzhou.
Beijing's Yizhuang
Beijing,
district.
Yizhuang, yes, we
I
had
was saying
the
we are leading.
marathon.
We are definitely leading.
Everyone saying it's leading. But yeah, it is these cluster effects that's advancing China in a much faster speed. And I was also amazed by how I can, like, for example, if I want to manufacture a humanoid robot at this expo, I can realize that. And
Yes.
just by visiting one stop.
Upstream,
Yeah,
downstream.
yes.
It's all about supply chain.
Yes,
the
from
ex-
joints
exhibition.
to algorithms to like
finger
to control
tips.
systems. Yeah, to that's called dexterous hands.
Yeah,
like
dexterous
you can
hands.
find everything here.
Yeah. That's why many companies would find it easier in China to promote innovation, because for all kinds of gadgets, training, and upstream, downstream support, they can find partners. Yeah, sometimes the end user is what they call 链主, the host of the supply chain.
Yeah.
For example, McDonald's or KFC could be the host of supply chain of agriculture. Yes. Because chicken
that play out?
growers, egg providers or vegetables would be grown, and they'll be using all these transportation logistics and reach them, and they are the final one facing the consumers. Then these 链主, these hosts, have a lot of purchasing power to their upstream supply chains. They can ask them or order them to apply to higher standards of maybe green technology, of health standards, of maybe non-antibiotic using. So the chicken are not taking antibiotic medicines. So the products could be more
Healthier for
healthier.
people.
Yeah.
Organic.
For us,
And
yeah.
they have to educate the consumer market, so the consumers would be encouraged to pay a little bit more premium for this price, but for better safety,
Quality,
for the
yeah.
quality and better
Premium,
taste.
yes.
And it's more sustainable. I'm taking this little bit of
wow.
stuff here. It's
Try something.
I'm not advertising for them. It's this McDonald's farm called Muck Farm, 卖农场. So cabbages, potato, and chicken.
Love
that
stuff.
chicken.
So what they're presenting these apples. They are normally sliced and being put into maybe burger or
Burger.
No,
No.
there's
they
it
have
has
like
an
a
individual
single
package.
box.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
that's
They
what
just have
menu.
this.
Yeah, I
That's
had that
only,
before.
right?
So you always feel they are
you
so
can-
fresh and sweet, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be very high quality. These are sliced
Yeah.
to be put into burgers.
Burgers,
So
yeah.
So you can
Tomatoes
feel,
are in
oh,
burgers.
your tomatoes, they're
Did you
sweet.
try them? Can we try them?
I think we
Like
can.
outside?
They're sour, they're sweet, they're very balanced, and the size is suitable to be put into a medium-sized mac.
So they have to
right?
control the size of each
Yeah,
apple.
so it's easier.
Each tomato.
So it's easier. So what they do is that
Standardized
they've been training
production.
5,000 farmers nearby Beijing so they can produce what they call regenerative farm. So the soils, the soil quality can be constantly improved. So this year you grow 10 tomatoes in this parcel of land. Next year you can also grow so much at the same quality. How can you do that? You put into a lot of bioproducts into this, not traditional those damaging mechanicals.
yeah.
And they improve the source of water into this. Sometimes they need the land to rest
Right.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Do not grow in this land for 2 years because it needs to absorb all these
Right. We call
resources.
it restoring the power of the soil.
The soil.
Yeah.
So the soil's nutrition can be kept there, so they can regenerate 1 or 2 years, 1 or 2 years. So this is like a sustainable growth of land. They've already been training these farmers in the upper stream because they're very powerful hosts of this supply chain. They can ask or select suppliers. If you can comply to our list of must-do, like 10, 12 lists, and you can supply to us, and we'll able to use your products for next 5, 10 years. So they're the host, and they bear the responsibility to educate and innovate and upgrade the upper chain. So they're doing that. Do you know McDonald's is essentially a Chinese company that's being purchased by Citigroup?
Yeah.
Since that was
So
2
it's a
years
Chinese
ago?
company.
Yeah.
金拱门是谁城市？
At Jinggomen, the Golden Arc is
A couple of years ago, yeah.
So you can see that these companies are using lots of years of experience in managing their supply chain and constantly improving the products and keep it safe and very high standards. They have tens of thousands of outlets all across China, and they have to keep all those standards the same. It's really not very easy.
What I found out is quite interesting about how firms are putting so much focus into upgrading or to modernizing their supply chains because of the dynamic of Chinese
Market.
consumer markets. Because I spoke to L'Oreal. L'Oreal is such a big beauty group,
Makeup.
but also the first time participating in the Expo.
Oh.
And they actually have been
partners they brought?
advocating. They brought in lipsticks, but the thing is like L'Oreal has been promoting. Oh, they have this new fulfillment center in Suzhou. They just opened last year. Actually, that fulfillment center can ship out, I believe, 700,000 orders in an hour. And nowhere else, even L'Oreal is from France, but nowhere else other than China can handle that much of order. One thing is because of all the technologies we're talking about, how advanced Chinese courier services or infrastructures have been, but also it's because during the Double 11 shopping spree, the mid-year,
Oh,
Demand
yeah.
coming
the
in.
618,
It's a huge increase of orders.
Domestic consumption.
it was a challenge for companies like L'Oreal, international companies, to really kind of handle that much of influx of orders. But they've been upgrading, they've been learning it and partnering with other Chinese partners so that they can handle 700,000 of orders in an hour. So when you buy something from Tmall or whatever,
or
And they don't have to own the factory. They will just use. They will just.
they actually build it.
They actually build it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing's like because they want to have that 700,000. But they've been partnering with other courier services. But that fulfillment center for L'Oreal, they think is pretty necessary. Amazon owns all their fulfillment center. I think.
Okay, that's one example. Is that L'Oreal is really confident in China that they build for many manufacturers, international, domestic. They don't need to build factories for themselves. They just buy the production capacity from
Or the
local
services.
Yeah. They just buy from the factory. They outsource production to Chinese local factories. The phones we're using,
Absolutely.
it makes
Very
sense that
true.
Tim Cook is in China because they outsource manufacturing
Like
to
80% of Apple's
Honghai.
are made in
What the thing's
China.
like,
That makes it possible for Apple to announce a new generation of Apple or earphones. And the next day they have 1 million orders. only China can accept such
Yes,
a
very true.
huge manufacturing capacity order.
Remember Trump wants to bring back
is also
production
here this year.
Apple has been here
all
since
the
last
time.
year.
Yeah.
Since last year.
So, but what I found quite interesting, because last year when Tim Cook here and parading that, his supply chain partners,
Yeah.
I mean, he brought in a packaging partner. I think it's like for each packaging of an iPhone, like can be done like 10 seconds,
Yes,
15
yes.
seconds
Oh.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Like this year at Apple, you don't see actually Apple products, but you saw like suppliers of Apple.
Yes.
Like from, for instance, the screen, like your screen.
From those making screens.
Yeah, from your screens, from your like back packet, like the back of the phone, and also this line.
Oh yeah,
Like
the
chassis or the-
the
I think the
raw-
steel, yeah.
the steel.
Yeah, steel.
Like
And
they're
even
only
those-
specialized in making this
titanium.
frame.
And I think they
It's
brought
very
either
difficult
this
because
year or last
if
year.
this is steel or metal ones,
Yeah.
it can be easily blocking the signal. So you have to be doing this very, very accurately, very precisely. So it's
Yes,
very
it
good
gotta be in
protecting the
one
inside.
place. Yes.
But also you have to strong enough to protect the screen and everything else.
And protect screen also, it will not affect the signal too much. So it's very
Special
difficult.
material.
You can, maybe they can only find it in China, I presume.
Maybe.
Things like, because I've been, especially this year, I've been visiting factories in Shenzhen or Yiwu, and what they found out is like why international firms love to manufacture here in China. It's not just because of the labor cost, but it's actually very efficient in China, because when you manufacture something, because I believe most of iPhones are assembled in Shenzhen or near Shenzhen. You can get all the things needed, just
Yeah.
maybe like hours drive from
Yeah.
Shenzhen or
Yeah.
just like.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's this cluster, I mean, supply chain cluster in China, that resilience that it gives international companies the advantage to produce quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think CP's story is very interesting because CP said in Thailand they have over 100 years of history and they're moving in the supply chain of agriculture and food industry gradually from upstream to downstream. So they started the business many years ago as the animal feed. It's like corn to feed pork or seeds to grow vegetables.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, our product's so good, let's grow and plant ourselves. So they started to produce feed farm, pig farms. Then they find the pig as a commodity, its prices always fluctuates globally. So it's not very stable business to focus on feed, this hog feeding. So they started doing business of, doing a lot of pork products, selling pork. And then they cook the pork.
Like from farm
right,
to
then
table.
Into food processing.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
entered into food
house.
processing. So they invest in huge factories to slaughter a hog and make these products. Then they ended up doing microwavable finished products. So it's fast food. So it went all the way from feeds to the end products. Now in Thailand they have 12,000 SKUs. Can you imagine? 12,000. And in China, they have so far, I think, 4,300 SKUs. So these are the kinds of food and finished food products they can offer to the Chinese market. What we are very familiar with is CPX, produced locally, by using their technology, using their innovation and very high standards. And they have CP chicken. Some of them are imported from Thailand. CP king prawn and durian.
Yeah,
Some of them are
durian.
imported from Thailand or other Southeast Asian countries, using their the cold chain. And the cold chain can apply train and those driving big vans. So they're investing in all these logistics. They become the host in the whole supply chain of it. That's why they can make money. If not in one segment of the supply chain, they'll make money in another segment of the supply chain. So it's stable for their economy.
Speaking of that, because I was actually trying to reach out to CP to talk about it, they actually have a strategy like each city, one dish. Like, for instance,
In
like
China, that's
in
the
Adapting
China.
to that,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind
Okay.
of marketing strategy, but still, I think it applies to what you have just said.
Yeah.
Like they make this during mooncake. like
You're mooncake.
Which city
Yeah.
is that?
during
Go for it. I'd go for it.
Yeah, I'll go for it too.
During
Okay.
mooncake.
Okay.
some like 担担面 like food
Ah,
from
for
there.
sal-
mean, for
Yeah, so
Ready
for-
to eat, so microwavable.
Yes, and also they're more, I'll say, get into the third, second or third tier cities here. They're not only targeting their markets in the first tier cities like Beijing, Guangdong, like Shenzhen, but they're getting more into like other smaller size of cities.
What their
countries.
vice president of CP Group told me is that they have been developing China for 4 decades, but they think the China's market is still so big, the imagination can be, infinite. Because they think Thai food is only Thai food. There's only one Thai food, right? You go to a Thai restaurant, they're just Thai food. But in China, we have 8 菜系, 8 cuisines.
Well, even more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
eight is just
there are
like,
many local small ones. So they say, oh, China's food SKUs need to be 8 times of the Thai cuisines. And Thailand, we already have 13,000 SKUs. So in China, we can easily have 10,000, 100,000 kind of SKUs. So they have unlimited imagination of how to prepare and process food in a very innovative and industrial way, using a lot of automation, because it's impossible for manpower to cook. And to package. I need to throw into the cold chain. It's impossible. So they're always using industrial automation machines to cook and dispatch and seal and label and into sending to cold chains and dispatch into different locals using very local suppliers.
Right.
Can you imagine how much work it involves? So they definitely need AI-powered digital tools, digitalization, to manage all this.
Absolutely. And speaking like robotic arms using for fulfillment centers or you do cook dishes maybe in 1 day.
Yeah.
A lot of those robotics arms are where China has been rising in that capabilities of producing robotics arms, because we'll be talking a lot that market
factories.
really attracted all those international companies to be here in China, but sometimes China is also trying to kind of amp up in terms of the, we are trying to move up the ladder. We're not just buying, we hope that we can actually provide as well robotic arms. So those fulfillment centers, KUKA right now is actually a Chinese-owned company, and TCL also makes robotic arms as well.
Yeah, and at the Expo, we're seeing, we're like, this is called the China International Supply Chain Expo, right? We're seeing global purchasers here to sourcing, for suppliers that they need. You mentioned Thailand. This year also marks the 50th anniversary between China and Thailand.
It's a host country.
Yes, it's the host country for this event. And I also saw a pavilion from Serbia, right? Yeah.
I spoke to them.
Yes,
as well.
and I met a guy at the Hubei pavilion for the robotics.
Yeah.
He was from the Serbian, from Serbia, and he was looking for robots. And he mentioned about, I asked him about what type of application scenarios are looking for these Chinese robots to do. He said marketing is a very good way, just like those robots have been showcased there. They are there to function as an entertainment or marketing for other, and also service bots, which are widely applied in hotels, restaurants nowadays.
Yes, everywhere.
Yeah, again, soon enough, they will enter our lives.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, the Serbia exhibitor, because it's kind of like they come from like a group.
Right.
Yeah, and then I spoke one of them. They said they're doing this logistics, and back in Serbia, they're one of the largest locally, and they're looking for partners in China. So they actually had meeting with Alibaba, and they said they're looking for collaboration opportunities. Maybe Alibaba can take part of their business or provide them customers from domestic markets. So I think that's another meaningful
exchanges.
Of this platform.
Yes, exactly.
So what is this? You'll be holding this.
Right.
What is this?
Yes, have a guess. What is it? What does it look like?
It's
A tire.
It's a keychain.
It's a tire. It's a tire. You're adding to you mentioned about this master of suppliers, or 链主, right? Host of suppliers.
Hostess, right.
That's a concept. Okay. It's still mine. Okay.
No, it's not a keychain. It's just like a little accessory thing. Okay.
Right. So yeah, this idea of master of suppliers has been where we can see that all across the exhibition halls. And this is from CITIC Group.
That owns McDonald's right now, right?
CITIC
I don't
owns
know.
everything. Oh my God. He owns the tallest building
In
across
Beijing, yeah.
Oh, I
just
know.
outside CGTN, the CCTV building.
Well, I didn't know that before. Well, to me and to Yawen, CITIC is only a finance service provider.
that's why I know
But I was
about it.
surprised to learn that they own a lot of companies, and one of them
Because
even
they have a lot of
uses
money.
Yeah, they even
Will
own some
Hub.
steel companies.
Yes.
Steel mills.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But-
They have this. They own this. This called Discatol.
Tyrell?
Dicatol.
What, cattle?
Dicastol.
Get
Dicastol.
What's that?
A company for making chassis for cars.
Okay.
Yes, and the technique they adopt can reduce 30% of the chassis, of the weight of the chassis compared to other regular ones. So they can really make the car much lighter, which when applied to EVs, they consume less energy, I guess. And also the wheel hub they also produce the wheel hub for Formula One racing cars. I don't know
So
if you
they-
watched that movie. I've
So
watched it.
they own Pirelli?
That they didn't mention which brand exactly, but
Pirelli, yeah.
it could be. Well,
Because right now there is only one supplier
Yes.
for tires for F1. So
Right,
it's
right,
Pirelli,
right.
Pirelli, yeah.
yeah.
Pirelli is owned by China Cam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
China Cam, Zhonghuan. Yeah.
Okay.
Bought it more than 10 years ago. But the company is still independently running for itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
China Cam is just the owner. They don't interfere with their business.
Operations.
With operation. It's still run by Italian family.
So apart from CITIC, Airbus, which is participating for the first time,
Yeah.
is also acting as a host of suppliers.
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
They
I mean-
brought
Of course, huge host. Oh my God.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, they've now had their factories in Tianjin,
Tianjin.
but they're now also have a very strong competitor domestically, the C919. Yeah, they share some same suppliers for their parts,
Maybe
yeah.
not as
domestically.
a high level.
Not for engines, but
Not- yeah.
You see that the Chinese suppliers in this supply chain, first they learn how to supply to very big international
corporates.
companies
Yes.
like Airbus. I don't know about Boeing, but
McDonald's, yeah.
definitely Airbus, very famously, and also to Tim Cook's Apple phones.
yes.
Then they've accumulated a know-how. Then they started to
Open
Build
your
on your own.
supply to local firms
Yeah.
like C919, to Chinese phones.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I've learned one thing from TCL, which you just mentioned, is that over 50% of TCL's business is now global business outside of
absolutely
China.
is, yeah.
And what we know TCL from is their TV, right? TCL TV.
Yeah,
Now
I
they've-
have one at home.
Oh, you have one at
Yes,
home?
yes.
How is it?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
large screen. Like I was debating by the time I bought it, I was debating between TCL's and Sony's, and opted for TCL's.
Okay.
It's larger screen for the same
Very
price.
competitive in TV. Then they also expanded to other home appliances.
Absolutely.
Like
Air
refrigerators, air
conditioning,
conditioning, all these because
Phones.
phones, yes, they have.
phones.
They also
Oh.
outsource
Europe.
for Xiaomi screen.
Oh, yeah, as well.
They're very good in display. So TV is display, right?
Yeah.
Small screen is also display.
Displays, yeah.
So they are a very important Chinese competitor for Samsung. So they're trying to catch up with Samsung.
Right.
So what they want to catch up with is innovation in supply chain, in the advanced manufacturing factory. So the factory has to be very advanced
Yeah.
to catch up
Yeah.
with the technology. If you have
Has to go
innovation, you have to
digitalized.
actually apply it into your factory. So they are investing so much in the advanced manufacturing, in automation, in precision, in the very accurate, robotic arm automation. Then they realize all of a sudden they're already very advanced in advanced manufacturing, and they can sell the advanced manufacturing technology, software, know-how, the whole production line to other companies. So if you're producing something else, you can also buy the whole production line from us. Can you imagine that? So a very big important part of their business is advanced manufacturing business.
Yeah.
So they've moved from end products
Yes.
to upstream,
Yes.
and they find the upstream to B business is all very significant because many global markets They
go,
not only
oh,
want your
yeah.
end products, they also want to learn your manufacturing. They may not want to, invest into display business, home appliances, but they may want to, create some other light industry products. They can buy your software and know-how and advanced manufacturing. So they're investing so much in this. They are defining themselves no longer as a TV company, no longer as a home appliance company, but as an advanced manufacturing and AI plus company, because they're applying AI into advanced manufacturing. So the factory can run by like less than 10 people, and they can produce all sorts of stuff because you just change the program for the automation to produce things.
I think these are all very vivid examples of how international companies are transferring their techniques into other countries, including China, and how we advance together through cooperation. And
AI becomes a big thing, I think, at this year's Expo, because it's my first time coming here, but like wherever I go, whichever pavilion I visited, they all have AI elements in TV, TCL, in PC, and also in like...
In our studio.
in our studio.
Yeah.
Exactly, again. So as we already shared a lot of our insights, one last takes from each of you. I'd like to hear what's the most impressive thing you've had this year. Let's start with Yawen, since it's the first time.
All right. So like for me, because normally I cover current affairs, I most importantly focus on China-US relations. I feel like even though there are lots of things about trade disruptions, like decoupling, but I think this year's Supply Chain Expo really showed me that cooperation outweighs decoupling. And all the participants, they came here, they want to build partnership, they want to make friends and expand their market access. So that's the big trend. And also, I want to talk about China's role here. So China is not only the stabilizer of this whole supply chain, not only for domestic markets, but also for international markets. And also is the innovation hub as a bridge and also as an accelerator.
Wonderful. And Junfeng as a three-time participant.
I think I learned a lot about China's important strategy of focusing on supply chain. Supply Chain Expo, I think it's been the world's very unique, I think very likely to be the only expo focusing on supply chain. So China really has a very important vision in focusing on supply chain, because supply chain globally has been disrupted by the pandemic, and after pandemic there's geopolitical tensions. So many countries and many economies have been focusing on building their supply chain according to their geopolitical relationship. Sometimes they're not finding the best price or best economical suppliers, but the most geopolitically friendly suppliers. So there's a significant reshuffle in global supply chains. And now the global supply chain is being further impacted by the Trump unpredictable trade policies. And we're still having a lot of repercussions from that. We're still feeling that. We don't know when that will happen. So I think globally there's a great anxiety through supply chain, because we understand it's no longer about trade now. I produce a product, you produce a product, I'll sell the end product to you, you sell the end product to me. It's a kind of old, traditional and classical way of trade. Now supply chain is that I only finish 1/3 of the products and you finish 1/3, and she finishes 1/3, and together we sell to Chengcheng, and Chengcheng produce something else, and we're all mixed up.
Yeah.
It's impossible to identify or single out any of us, and it's the most, it's the best way. It's the most economical way and cooperative way to make everyone benefit from it. But someone out there just jumps out saying, oh, we don't want that again because it benefits some certain countries more than others. If this situation continues for another decade, then the economic power shift would be unbearable for some of the players. So we have to think very strategically about supply chain and how it evolves from now on. It's the only third year.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Sun Chen?
I touched Jensen Huang's jacket.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I didn't.
But the thing is, like, the slogan or the tagline of this expo is connecting the world for a shared future. And I can still remember during the first year, or actually the beginning or the start of this supply chain expo, the aim was actually to build a platform so that companies can make friends, as we have mentioned about connecting, right?
Yes.
And the first year was held during a time, by the last year, the second last year of Biden's administration, and we've been seeing that's rising tension between China and the U.S. But still, the U.S., the number of U.S. firms participating in the first expo accounted for the largest amount of international exhibitors. And still, like, we have like 7,000 American firms in China, and that number hasn't been decreasing, and if not increasing. And the second year, we saw advanced manufacturing, that we saw that technology is really changing how supply chain is evolving. And this year, artificial intelligence. But of course, I asked Jensen Huang the very question if Trump administration changed policies, because at the moment, the H20 shipment, they are only applying for the licensing. But Jensen Huang mentioned is that for now, for even a company as large as Nvidia, you're looking at the moment. At the moment, everything's good, but
Make hay when the sun shines.
yeah, absolutely. We'll probably have to focus at the moment because there are so much turbulence around the world. We have the war, we have the crisis, conflicts. But again, China has been trying to maintain that resilience by collaborating, by connecting the world for a future.
We continue opening up of our market.
And since for the past 4 decades. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Well, carpe diem. And I think, well, I learned the most from all of your insight today. And that could possibly wrap up our roundtable today. And thank you all for joining. And thank you to our viewers for watching. And that's it for this special roundtable coverage of the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo. We'll see you very soon.
Yeah, and don't forget that Expo is also open to the public.
Yeah.
This is the first public open day. Tomorrow it's still open. It's weekend, so you're all welcome to join us. If you're in Beijing, it's not very far from the city center. You can drive about 30-40 minutes, and there's a subway nearby. You can drop. This morning at the gate, I already saw some family.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
can just apply on the phone.
There are a lot of university students and little kids trying to see this show. It's great for education.
Because that's the future for China. That's the
Yes.
future for the world.
So come
If they
join.
want to find a job in the future, this is
Maybe
Also a very
start
good
somewhere.
there.
This is a great.
start to have some vision of what kind of companies or industry will thrive in the future. So you can focus on this major and this technology and this sector. So these are 650 companies. They're the future. They're the dominant or the host of supply chains. So
Seize the moment, seize the
see
opportunity.
which industry or which products would provide enough enthusiasm for them, so they can, get a lot of
Bring an
inspiration
idea. Yeah.
from this event.
Yeah. So I
do
guess.
join us and come to visit Supply Chain Expo. It's really meaningful.
And I give this back to you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you here at the expo.
Yes.
Bye bye.